boy.
Bad boy, baby. Bad boy sports.
Can't stop, won't stop.
You couldn't stop and you wouldn't stop. Naro, get your ass back in here.
I'm right here.
All right.
Oh
up,
my
everybody?
God.
Welcome to a new Cave Sports football episode. I am your host, Proper, joined by Legit Naro and Feel the Burn. Before we begin, if you haven't already, please make your way to our website, K4V3.com. That's cave.com to connect with us. On our website, you can find a link to join our Discord channel. Also, a special shout out to our sponsor, SafeLightCandle.com. Visit their website so you can find all your LED lighting needs, whether it's for your home, office, or studio. SafeLightCandle.com has lights to suit your needs. Visit them now so you can stay lit for the low. All right, guys. Football week just seems to be going by faster and faster every week. It was a pretty good week of football, in my opinion. But we're gonna go ahead and recap it so we can run down the scores, and let's see what you guys, if there's anything you guys want to point out with any games and I know the Steelers, we got something for Naro coming up for the Steelers, but before we get there, let's go ahead and run down the scores. All right, Naro, why don't you go ahead, take the lead and run it down for us.
All right, Bengals, Ravens. Poor Joe Burrow. The AFC North is pretty much shut down for the number one spot at this point. Let's see, the Browns and the Steelers. We'll talk about that later. The fact that the Raiders were keeping in pace with the Dolphins looked decent. The Browns coming down, or the Bears coming down to the wire with the Lions. I'm sure we'll have to talk about that. The 26-31. Jags 34-14 over the Titans. Packers 23 over 20 over the Chargers. That one was a little weird. The Texans, you gotta love CJ Stroud coming in strong, even after throwing 2-3 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
That was sour.
Stroud boys.
Oh, dude, you know what? Stroud is looking very healthy. He's a rookie. He's going to have some tough games, but I appreciate the Texans. They are killing it right now. They are in the playoffs currently. We'll get into that later, too. As of right now, they have a playoff spot. So that was my game of the week. Good for the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, the Lions pulling out a last-minute win. That needed to happen. Keep them in the running for a number one spot. If the Eagles would have lost, no, I think the Eagles would still have the number one spot.
Tiebreaker, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I got for the week. Jags had a huge bounce back. That was good. I think we all saw that coming up.
Yeah, too many damn injuries, man. Mark Andrews, I think he's out for the year now in Baltimore, and they're looking like you said, the AFC North team to beat. I think it's their division to lose at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Bears had that game won. They were up by 12 points with 5 minutes left and blew it. That's just the Bears. So yeah, Jaguars are impressive. Crucial drops that are costing teams here late in the season. Quentin Johnston had a big one in that Chargers Packers game. And then there's, on the Monday Night Football game, there's also another big drop. But yeah, these games were a lot closer than I thought they were going to be. Overall, pretty competitive week here in the early slate for sure.
Yeah, that Raiders Dolphins was actually pretty good up until the last minute. Pretty close, and it was just the Chargers Packers. I remember watching those games back to back on, good games this week for sure. The Lions and the Bears was surprisingly closer than I expected it to be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, everything, the Browns winning by 3, it's those ticky-tacky, wins. But yeah, what else games do we have here? Let's go on to the next slide.
Oh, just a classic AFC North battle between those two teams, though, too. 13-10. That's fantastic. That's what you want to see in the AFC North.
Yeah,
just defensive, just smash mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic.
Walk us through these scores, Zach.
Oh, Cowboys bludgeoned the Panthers. That was tough to watch. Giants upsetting the Commanders.
Surprisingly.
A little too late, but my preseason NFC East favorite, or my
are they showing
NFC
life for you?
Champ. No, it's too late in the season now. But that is the type of win, though. 4 or 5 weeks ago, that maybe could have sparked something there. But
True.
I don't think it's too late now. Niners are back, obviously with Trent Williams and Debo. They're rolling. Impressive win. That's tough. Bengals front seven, and McCaffrey had a pretty decent day against them. Purdy just looked phenomenal against that Bucs defense. Big injury in that one. Hufanga is out for the season, torn ACL. That's going to be. I think that's going to show itself here in the next couple of weeks with some of the teams that the Niners have to play. They got Seattle this week and then Philly the week after. So they're going to be tested. Bills absolutely throttled the Jets. I think they were kind of pissed about week 1 and got their revenge. So it made sense. That score really looks like what the Bills should be doing this time of year. And it's getting to December. And the Bills are historically a very good December team. So
they are.
We'll see what happens with them going to close out the rest of the season. Afternoon game of the week, though, definitely Seahawks-Rams. That was a last-second missed field goal by Myers that would have given the Seahawks a dub. But the Rams held on to win in SoFi, which you could call that CenturyLink South. Seahawks usually take over that place.
The running back Walker is out now. For how long did they
he's going to miss. I think they're talking 3 games, and we'll get into this in fantasy. I'll have a comment about that. Just remind me to talk about that because
I already picked him up.
Yeah, I know.
I was trying to pick him up.
I know, but I'll have a word of caution when we get there.
Okay.
Broncos, dog. Oh, you should take over this one though. Take over
Broncos country. We can finally ride this win streak. 21-20 Vikings. The one takeaway I have here, it's such a bullshit call for Kareem Jackson to get suspended again for that hit on Dobbs. Nah, it's bullshit. It's just
repeat offender, dude.
Okay, but come on, that guy is already. He's running with the ball. What he? I don't know. I just don't. I think it's a bullshit. I mean, there's other plays where I'm like, okay, yeah, you know what, maybe you should. But this one, he's just making a play, and the quarterback decided to run with the ball. And if you decide to do that, it's free game, in my opinion. I mean, how much softer is this gonna get? You can't hit anybody. The quarterback, you could barely touch now. So I just think it's a dumb suspension. But other than that, it was a nail biter really for any Broncos fan. It was all field goals, Will Lutz, and then Russell Wilson leading a game-winning drive with a nice pass to Sutton. It's just back to back now. Sutton making plays, 4th down.
He made some crazy catches in this game, dude.
Catch right there. What was that? That was the 4th down catch.
The 4th down catch while being held. One-handed catch. And, Sutton is finally showing that him and Russell Wilson are building that chemistry. Jerry Jeudy dropping passes, which has always been an issue. Dropping crucial passes. He had a touchdown pass thrown to him, and he dropped it. So
he'll be fine.
We went to old reliable Cortland Sutton making the catch when we need it. Broncos take down the Vikings 21-20. Josh Dobbs, though, didn't play very bad at all. Let me just put that out there. I thought he played exceptionally well. In the running game, they were breaking through that D line like nothing. So I don't know. The Vikings had something going, but at the end, the Broncos defense finds a way to stop them. And then next up, we don't have Francis here to celebrate this win, but the Super Bowl preview, the Eagles-Chiefs. Eagles coming out 21-17. What's your guys' takeaways from this game?
My takeaway is that the Eagles are it. We talked about this. I don't care if Andy Reid's coming off a bye week. The Eagles, I saw that coming a mile away. The Chiefs are not the Chiefs. They're not.
Mahomes,
he's not looking great.
No.
Point that out.
So
beautiful. And his receivers
Mahomes needs receivers. He needs reliable receivers. You can only rely on Kelsey for so long, right?
Well, I mean, Taylor Swift wasn't at the game, so Kelsey.
Oh my God! Here we go with the Taylor.
Of course, she wasn't going to be at the game, dog. She's an Eagles fan. That's why they won. I will say this though: the Chiefs are now, at least for this season, they're a defensive team. Their defense is impressive. They held the Eagles 21 points. That's fucking solid. Mm-hmm. Just Kelsey fumbling in the red zone, uncharacteristic. MVS with that touchdown drop, that would have been a walk-in touchdown. We wouldn't even be talking about the Eagles right now. The Eagles, but I'm not gonna hate. The Eagles are finding ways to win. They're not impressive. I'm not impressed by them. How they're playing is beatable, but at the end of the day, they're still pulling out dubs. So you gotta give credit to them.
Yep, very much so. I think that the Bills, not only because the Jets are just not looking good. I want to go back to the Bills game real quick. The Bills, with the firing of their offensive coordinator, some foreshadowing to come for the Steelers. I don't
know. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, just fire OC, and then you're going to be a playoff team, and you're going to be a top offense.
We'll talk about it when I get into the red a little bit. But the fantasy projections for all of the Steelers players have gone up about 2 points.
I'm starting Deontay Johnson every league I have him. So,
Well, speaking of who you're starting, let's move on to the fantasy football. Another week down. Naro, did you get a win?
I got a win. I'm not in last place. There's 4 people.
Not in last place. Doesn't have to wear a dress.
Naro got 2 dubs this week.
Yes, he did.
I did. Oh, for sure. It was the happiest day of my life. I'll tell you that. But I'm not there's 4 people in last place now. So I'm not sweating anymore. I might be able to actually pull out and not come in last.
All right. Since you're so enthusiastic about your win, how about you announce our league's winners and losers?
All right. So you can with the win over Gordon Bombay.
Huge win.
Big dub.
That was a big win. Let's see. CD's nuts. I'm loving his fall right now. It's fantastic. I wasn't here last year, but I'm still liking the fall.
He didn't even go here.
Slime it absolutely destroyed Johnny Lance. That wasn't even by more than half. Well, more than double.
Yeah, double as shit.
Fucking
Jermaine
auto pick team
win on Jarrell's mask. Sorry, Francis. He gets 1 win this week, not 2.
That's why he's not here, dude.
That's what it was. His Eagles won, but he lost. Now he's in last week.
Such a bad losing streak, Francis. Come on.
Dude,
I know.
4 in a row, man.
That's rough.
I got another win. But I'm tied for last place for 4 people now. Just 1 or 2. I'm loving it. I'm just to say it's a little messed up that I have 120, 140, 130 point games and I lose those games, but the week that I do absolutely god awful and winning, so
that's fantasy, baby.
That's football, baby.
That's right. Any given Sunday or Thursday or Monday or this week Friday.
Thursday.
Yeah, we have 5 days of football, boys. Starting tomorrow.
Yes.
That's so sick.
I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, man, there's no football or anything. I'm not doing my podcast today. I was so sad yesterday. But it was a great news day for me. So,
yeah.
Speaking of I wanted to remind you, Zach, the whole Seahawks running back situation.
Yeah, so shout out Naro. You had the number 1 waiver priority still, even though you're the hottest team in fantasy right now for our league. And you ended up getting Zach Charbonnet. I think it's hilarious that as someone who has a Kenneth Walker in some leagues, and in the leagues I didn't have him still, Zach Charbonnet was a guy that I wanted to pick up and hold for situations like this. And it's really hilarious to me that right when that time comes, it's going to pay off to be holding on to him. They got to play 2 of the best rush defenses in football. They got the Niners twice and Dallas. So it's kind of one of those bittersweet things. You're going to get a lot of projected points from Zach Charbonnet. He's going to get a heavy workload. He's actually been outsnapping Kenneth Walker for I think 2 weeks now, and has been really close in comparisons with him in terms of snap count. And it's just like, man, like it would have been nice if they would have had like the Giants, or one of these like lesser rush defenses, like even like the Cardinals or something like that. But no, they got Dallas and the Niners. So,
definitely.
Kind of bittersweet, right?
Yeah. Well, for this week's matchup, so congratulations for picking up Charbonnet. Hopefully it works out for you. But our lineup for this week, this is our matchups. We got CD's Nuts facing Ayukin. CD's Nuts looking to end that losing streak by.
I have to win this week. I have to win this week because like half my team is on bye next week.
You're projected to lose, so let's see if you can make some moves on that. Gordon Bombay facing off with Johnny Lance. 2 of them coming off of losses. One of them's going to come out with a win. So looks like Gordon Bombay is supposed to squeak by him, but anything can happen. Crumlin Herb versus Jarrell's Mask. Francis looking to snap that 4-game losing streak against Nick. Let's see. He's projected to win by by a decent amount, so hopefully that holds up for him. Legit Naro looking to extend his win streak against one of our top scorers in the league. Slime Bucket. I know projected scores, people go off by that, but you'd be surprised sometimes those projected scores could be wrong. So let's see how that tipped in your favor, Naro. Myself, Fornicate, going against Hit Squad. Gonna be a nail biter, 125.1 to 126.2. So we got some pretty close matchups as it looks from just projected scores, at least. Looks like anything can happen. I mean, that's just any week though, right? You guys got anything you want to input before we move on to Naro's rant that he's cooking up for this? I don't know what you're going to rant about, but anything you guys want to
This point in fantasy is crucial. It's Thanksgiving, right? Thanksgiving week. To me, that usually signals like playoffs are around the corner. Normally, I think it would be like this is do or die time for whether or not teams are going to make the playoffs or not, because we used to only play 17 weeks, so that means playoffs usually start at week 14. So it's like, fuck, we're getting close. We get a little extra week, a little extra breathing room. Hopefully, I think our trade deadline's this week. So try to get those trades in, those last minute moves to set yourself up for the playoffs. Start looking at, for those of you that are blessed to be in positions to where you're going to make the playoffs or have already clinched, start looking at weeks 15, 16, and 17. That's where your prep's going to take you to so that way you can be the best prepared for those playoff weeks. So it's getting down to it, man.
It's crazy. We're already on to playoffs and
week 12.
I'm gonna be sad once football's over, man. I mean, I got basketball to watch,
all
but there's just
we have a lot to talk about basketball.
Yes, we do. Francis is gonna lead that segment, just so you guys know. But gonna miss football. All right, guys.
Let's enjoy it while we're here, boys.
Oh, playoff picture. We're gonna go with the playoff picture.
Yeah.
As it stands today, the playoff picture. Let's bring up our slide to look at what the playoff picture looks like. Here's the bracket. Obviously, Philadelphia with the number 1 seed, and Baltimore looking like the number 1 seed as it stands today. Obviously, from you guys, I want to hear what do you, Naro? I want you to call the NFC side. Zach, call the AFC side.
That's so funny. Anyway,
let's just switch that. Let's switch that. You're the AFC guy. I'm the NFC guy.
Okay, go ahead, switch it.
Yeah, switch.
All right. So AFC right now we got Baltimore sitting over Kansas City. At this point, it's Baltimore's first seed to lose.
Yep.
Because I don't see Kansas City, which by the way, Baltimore, we'll get into the next slide, but that makes a lot of sense. We'll get into that later. So, like I said last week, I thought that either Cleveland or the Bengals were going to be dropping out of there. I was right. The one that is really awesome to see in here is the Texans, man. The Texans coming in here and a 6 seed. And the only reason they have a 6 seed is because they have the tiebreaker over us, over the Steelers. I think that this is a pretty decent AFC picture to look at going into the end of the year. I don't see too much changing, maybe seed placing. But I think that other than that, I don't see the Bengals are pretty much out of it at this point. The Bills, I think, are going to be definitely fighting for that 7th spot.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the Bills will probably move into like the 6th spot, more than likely.
Yeah, I mean, but the Denver Broncos could also go undefeated from here on, and
that's up with the Chargers.
The fact that the Broncos are still in playoff hunt is wild to me currently.
2nd place in AFC West, it can definitely happen, but I looked at the schedule; it's doable.
They could go from paper bags to playing the Jags in the playoffs, dude. Let's go.
That'd be crazy.
I'm gonna have to. No more paper.
Put that on a shirt, dog. Go back to the NFC. Hold on, go back. NFC side, I think Philadelphia wrapped up the home field advantage for playoffs. I know they're gonna play. I know they're gonna play the Niners again and the Cowboys twice. I get it, but they also have to play the Giants twice and Arizona, and I think they have a date with Seattle left. I think they just locked up number 1 seed in that game against Kansas City. Because we were talking about that when we were doing that collision course thing last week. Whoever comes out of the South is going to lose their first round matchup. So I think these teams that don't win their divisions, they're going to want that number 5 seed. Even though they would have to go to New Orleans, which is a tough place to play. That place gets really loud, no matter if they're good or bad. We got, I think this week alone, we have 2, as it stands, playoff games that are happening this week. Niners are going to Seattle tomorrow, and then Jacksonville, I think, is hosting Houston this week. So that's going to be very interesting to watch. The Lions, impressive, come from behind win against a division rival. They got the Packers this week. That's going to be a fun game. They're looking really good too. The race for the 2-3 seed is going to be interesting, but I think they're going to end up playing each other in the playoffs. Niners and Lions. It's just going to be a matter of where that game is. And I think, for both of those teams, I think they're both confident, both at home and on the road. So that's just a matter of if they're going to play each other or not in the playoffs. From the outside looking in, I know last week we talked about like the Rams. They had a clutch win that kept them alive. Falcons, I think, are still flirting with to possibly win a division. I think they're playing. They might be playing the Saints this week, actually. Yeah, so that'll be fun.
We'll take position in the South.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game then. One of those games to watch that you wouldn't have thought it. Minnesota too. They're very interesting. They're kind of like. Like Houston on the other side. And even kind of like Denver too. Like one of those teams that like they just needed to find their footing and just, trust what they know what they can do, trust their identity. Like Denver's going to go as far as their defense takes them, in my opinion. If their defense can keep them in games, Russ has played enough, and now he's with the coach that has won enough to where they know how to close games out, just like you saw against Minnesota, and we've been seeing for the last few weeks. I think Minnesota. Stefanski, I think he's got a good culture there, and they're getting Jay Jettis back. I think Jay Jettis changes that game against Denver too. Personally, it gives Dalton another option, another safety blanket to throw at. So them getting Jettis back is going to be very big. But I don't see too much shaking up or changing. Possibly just Seattle and Minnesota, and then whoever wins the South.
Yeah, pretty solid. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the Super Bowl real quick. What a venue, Las Vegas. It's just a perfect place to have a Super Bowl, in my opinion, in Las Vegas. It's about time, and God, it's just I can't imagine how expensive those tickets are going to be just in Vegas, man. Like whoever can go and watch at the Roomba. Have fun because
I might just go out there just to be out there during that.
Oh, everything's gonna be jacked up in price. Your hotel price is gonna be crazy, So
yeah, but I got hotels in London.
Yeah, so but what a venue! Exciting year for the Super Bowl if your team makes it. Just to be in Vegas, I mean, imagine playing this in Oakland. Huge difference. Yeah, so. Excited to watch this. And have they announced who the halftime show is going to be?
Usher.
That's right. Usher.
Usher?
Yeah.
Of course, you just got to walk down the street from his residency, right?
Usher Raymond, baby.
Ursha, baby.
They announced the teams for the Super Bowl already too.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
You want to fill in the script then? Who is it?
So for those of you guys who aren't paying attention to conspiracies in the league, we'll kind of fill you in here real quick. So the past 3 Super Bowls, the colors of the Super Bowl logos are the colors of the teams that have been playing in the Super Bowl. So, that being said, we see the Super Bowl color. It's been pretty consistent. There's been a lot of things going on with the league these years. So, it is either going to be the Chiefs versus the Vikings, which is a very unlikely possibility.
Nah, we don't want that.
No, it's more than likely going to go the other way around, though. It'll be the Niners versus the Ravens.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's going to be a rematch of Candlestick, and I think it's going to go the opposite way this time. I think the Niners are going to be taking out.
Has it always? I need to look into that. The color.
Last 3 years or last 2 years.
Wow.
No, 3 years.
Yeah.
Last 3 years, and this will be the
3 years.
Yep.
Insert my.
Last year was Eagles.
Wow.
Eagles, Kansas City, because it was like red and green, right?
And then it was the year before that was the Rams and the Bengals.
Yep.
And then there was one before that was what? Kansas City.
Kansas City, Tampa?
It's,
That one was like all red, right? Or it was like red and orange or something. It was weird.
I don't remember.
like a little questionable.
Jarizi chiming in saying, "So fake, bro."
It's only fake when it doesn't happen to your team, dog. I live for this shit. I need that rematch. I need that fucking Beyonce power outage off the back of the Niners. That would be phenomenal. Them going into the Raiders' house and winning the Super Bowl would be sick, dude.
Of course, Jarizi chimes in on the conspiracy, our rabbit hole enthusiast.
I think, you know what, and kind of going back into the playoffs real quick, I know this is kind of a little off.
Playoffs.
I can't stand how the playoffs are done. Like, I can't stand the bracket. I can't stand the seeding. That annoys the hell out of me.
Wait, is this your rant, dogs? Hold on.
I don't know. This is just a quick, this is a quick question for you.
This is the warm-up.
Oh, foreplay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The people
this is a rant foreplay. Let's go.
To drop your comment. Do you guys feel that it should be every division winners and then the wild cards, or do you feel like it's just best records should be the way how you get into the playoffs? Because to me, I feel like that's bullshit, and no one in the NFC South should be in the playoffs. It's like a couple years ago where no one in the NFC East should have made the playoffs.
So I'll say this. I don't think that you should take away winning your division as a playoff spot, but I don't think they should automatically be the 4 seed.
Yeah, the Saints over the Cowboys currently makes
Cowboys,
zero sense. Zero sense.
Yeah, and like it ends up making a worse game. Like, I know that there has been seasons where the 5 seed has upset the 4 seed, and the 4 seed was like, the 4 seed has held on to win or whatever. But like, at the end of the day, you want to have the best games possible. So, if you were to have, the Saints go to Detroit instead, I think they'd be the 7 seed, right, with their record, or would they be like 5? They go to San Francisco, right? That would make that 4-5 game even better and more competitive, in my opinion. But a place like New Orleans, though, is one of those exceptions to where it's like that's going to be interesting because that is a tough environment to play in, historically speaking. But just in general, I don't think they should automatically be gifted a home game, especially when, we had that one year, I think the Seahawks were like 9-7 or something, and they made the playoffs, they won the division, and they hosted like an 11-win team. And they ended up winning that game, but it just kind of felt weird going into it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was the Marshawn Lynch run where he in the end zone and had the earthquake. I think they played the Saints too.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just feel like the Browns,
I'm with you.
It's a little uncomfortable.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys, also, another question. Do you think they should go back to the top? Sorry. the top 2 teams on the first round bye, or do you think it's only the first team on the first round bye?
I kind of think there shouldn't be a bye.
Oh yeah, everyone just fight it out.
Yeah, add an 8th team in there.
Add an 8th team, not go down to 6 one play.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, add an 8th team in there. So I understand like you don't want to like jeopardize like the integrity of like winning, and you don't want to do all that, but like I do like parity. And the NFL has 32 teams, so that would just mean half the league makes the playoffs, which to me is fine. I don't think, like I think more so like the bye isn't what desired. It's more of like they're playing for home field. The home field to me would be more important than a bye, because you're essentially going to be home anyway, and you get to like your normal stuff. You don't have to travel anywhere, so that's already an advantage in and of itself. And I actually prefer one more team in and then no buys.
That's a pretty good one. I mean, I personally didn't mind. I feel like if you deserve a bye if you get that record, whatever. Mm-hmm. But with you bringing that whole 8th team, I actually like that idea. I think that works for us. Yeah,
it keeps more teams in the mix too at the end of the season. Like everyone, like when we talk about baseball and like when they expanded the playoffs, like you make more games matter in September, like because there's more teams that are still in the hunt and alive. And like for a year like this year, especially in the AFC, like an 8th team would have been perfect because there's a lot of teams that are going to be at the end they're like deserving of a playoff spot. Because everyone's just beating each other right now, and they're staying alive. I mean, there's what, like 13 teams that are essentially can still make the playoffs in that whole conference. Like that's amazing.
Yeah,
so, the AFC has at least
12 for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that are still in the hunt, and there's going to be a lot of. I think that it'll, for the most part, stay, but there could be a lot of seed shifting and a lot of, and the 7th seed is definitely going to be moving. The 7th, I don't know, 7th, 16, 6 seed are going to, AFC is kind of all over the place. So
I think 5, 6, 7 is going to be different than what it is right now, like completely different.
Yeah, by the time playoff actually rolls by, we're going to see something different. I mean, I wouldn't say it's going to be too surprising, but we'll see something different.
It's definitely not going to be chalk like the NFC.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, guys. So with the playoff picture and Super Bowl preview and conspiracy out of the way, Naro, it's your turn to take the stage with your rant. What do you have for us? I want to hear it.
Woo!
You guys got to win. I don't know why you want to rant. Let's do it.
Well, this picture's just involved with how my rant goes. It'll be a decently quick rant. So let's just start to get into it. So first and foremost, great news coming out of Pittsburgh on Tuesday. It finally worked. Chants all over the world. I don't know if you guys have been seeing the videos, but there were chants in Utah. There were chants at all of Pat McAfee shows during the College Game Day. There was chants 5 weeks straight. It was absolutely insane.
Hockey games, dog.
Hockey games. Utah, Ohio. What's that new school that just hit the John Madison? I think is what it was.
James Madison.
Just absolutely mind-boggling the fact that this chant has grown so big. Finally, it has happened. So, big news for Steelers fans coming out of Tuesday. Everyone woke up. No one thought it would happen. It's the first time since 1941 that the Steelers have made a big coordinator and or head coach move mid-season. The Steelers have never done that before, so no one thought it was going to happen until the end of the season. Now, this is where it tailors into. I'm just super excited. I'm just super excited about it. So it kind of moves into what the whole rant is about. The whole rant is about coaching. And this gives the Steelers now. As a Steelers fan, I'm not going to say that we're going to be the most amazing team in the NFL coming out of the next couple of weeks. I'm realistic. I understand there's going to be a lot of change that's going to be happening. There's going to be a lot of. There still needs to get a rhythm. Kenny needs to kind of get under his feet and kind of figure things out. But what this does for a team and for the Steelers in general is it allows them to correctly assess the play of the offense. What happens is when a coach comes in and it is terrible coaching, whether it's an offensive coordinator, whether it's a specific group coach, like running back coach, tight end coach, whatever it may be, head coach, they mess with the production of players and the competency of that whatever system that they're on, right? So the Steelers are finally going to be able to assess what actually needs to get done, because there's going to be different play calling. There's going to be different mojo on the offensive side altogether. That's going to allow them to actually assess what's going on and how to fix it. This goes into something that, and I don't agree with Tom Brady too much. I don't like him as I hate him as a player, because obviously,
no,
as a person, he's been caught cheating a couple times, so I'm a little, but Tom Brady's Tom Brady. He's one of the greats, and he said, oh crap, I don't remember if I was on the Stephen A. show, or he was on a show this week where he said that there's a lot of mediocrity going on in the league, and he's blaming coaching. And you know what? I'm talking about it, and I'm agreeing with it. There is a lot of things that people are not understanding, that it's not necessarily a player's issue and or a group's issue. It might just be a coaching issue, right? Because if you don't listen, you guys have to understand that the coaches are the ones that mold the players, especially the young players coming out of the league, right? Look at the Texans. There's such a huge difference with D'Amico Ryan in there. There's such a huge difference, right? And CJ Stroud coming out. Look at there are quarterbacks that are coming out of the college that might be decent quarterbacks, but if they don't have the right footing underneath them, it's not going to go well. It's not going to, like, RG3 was in a great position and played really well. It was unfortunate what happened to him, but on the other hand, Johnny Manziel, personal issues. Let's hear what
Jamarcus Russell.
Thank you. Okay, Jamarcus Russell. I think he would have been a decent quarterback.
He could have.
I think he would have been a quarterback.
You didn't read the playbook.
Kyler Murray, dude. Kyler Murray's one of them too. Like, Kyler's not a terrible. I don't think he's a terrible quarterback, and he's not playing well. And if
there's definitely worse.
Coaching there, if you have the right coaching there, Kyler played well in his first couple of years, but there is no structure to keep the player in check. There's just people don't realize how much coaching affects a player's career, affects a team's outcome. It's not on the player. I'll use Kenny as an example. Kenny Pickett played really, really well at the end of the season last year. He played really well at the end of the season last year. And everybody was talking about how they didn't, when he first started, they didn't know how he was going to turn out. And at the end of the season, a lot of the analysts were talking about how Kenny has a bright future ahead of him, blah, 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 this, and that. And then coming into this year, right, he's not doing so hot. And he started getting worse when they had Matt Canada spending more time with him. There was a shift. Instead of taking back Matt Canada in the beginning of the year, there was a time where instead of hiring him, which everyone wanted, they wanted him to work with Kenny Pickett more. And Kenny's literally, you can see it as on the game that they started working together more. Kenny's production started getting even lower. I'll use another example, and obviously I'm a Steelers fan, so I know a little bit more about it. Right, the Steelers' offensive line for the past 4 or 5 years has been absolute dog. Right, a lot of people thought it was the players, but Kevin Dotson, who was a Steelers lineman last year for like 3 or 4 years, was not a good lineman with us. He was having issues the entire time he was with us. He's now the number 1 rated offensive lineman in the league currently under the Rams. Right? So it has a lot to do with the way that the coaches are nurturing and developing these players, and the crappy coaching is starting to really affect the way that the league is played, and it's starting to get really, really, really irritating.
Yeah. I mean, I always feel like you said, just that quarterbacks thrive when they have the right coach. You know, I agree that Jamarcus Russell could have been a great quarterback, but like Zach said, should be reading the playbook. But you know, he should maybe he'd be in a team that actually enforced it and got onto him. You know, in a system that he could follow.
Good point.
You know, then he'd be stuck to it. But you know, like look at Tua. Let's say right now, like him and Mike McDaniel, perfect. They're working. You know, and back when he was with the Raiders, it wasn't working. So I think personalities definitely have to mesh for a coach with his quarterback to understand their kind of play, their comfort zones. That's why Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll worked for a little while. You know, this guy fresh out of college minded. You got Pete Carroll, very familiar with the college scene still, fresh out of it. And just using those tools and transitioning to the NFL, and that's what worked for Russell Wilson at the time.
But using Geno Smith as an example as well.
Yeah.
Who was not playing well and did not have a good career
with the Jets at all, no.
3 teams
and Chargers.
Yeah. And, he was not doing well. And he comes to Pete Carroll, and Geno Smith's a good quarterback.
Yeah. He's not a terrible quarterback at all. I mean,
he's not, he's not a Tom Brady. He's not a, one of the legends, but Geno Smith's a good quarterback.
Yeah, there's teams that wouldn't mind to have him, that need a quarterback that wouldn't mind to have him. And in all honesty,
it goes. I mean, Andy Reid's always had good teams.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Reid's always had good teams. The Eagles were always relevant under Andy Reid. They were always relevant. They might have not. Obviously, they didn't go right. Or they went once, but they were always relevant.
He's a likable guy. That's why. I mean, the players like him easily. I mean. Look at him doing these stupid commercials with Mahomes. You know,
do the chicken nuggets.
Cool. Yeah, and like just the cheeseburger, like him, just he can laugh at himself, and I think the players really respect that and they resonate with that, and that's why they're willing to, it's that connection. It's 100% needed in the league between players and coaches.
What happened with the Vance Joseph hate then?
Vance Joseph, I still not the biggest fan of him right now, in all honesty, because if you look at the defense were turnovers, that's great and all, but the run game is still very. I don't know if teams are observing. Like I'm watching the game and it's like he doesn't know how to stop a run. They're gaining like 5 yards per carry, 8 yards, and it's just now they're in a position where they could pass or throw or like run, and if you want to be this mean defense that people claim you to be, you should be stopping the run, and we got big guys on the line, so for them to just be ran through it's definitely a scheme issue. I don't know what Vance Joseph is calling there, but he's definitely fixed the passing game. I'll give him that, but the defense,
I mean, since giving up 70 points, dog, like they're better. They're one of the best defenses, since that game in the league, and their record shows it. I was just saying, just because it's like in this situation, I think the fire Matt Canada chants have been going on just as long, if not further back than that 70-point effort that the Dolphins put on Vance Joseph's defense.
Right.
So it's like it just shows, to me at least, the power of winning. And I think the Steelers, that when they were getting those dubs, that we were like, oh wow, like this could spark something. It just kept Canada on the staff longer. Little fun fact about Pittsburgh and making that coaching change. The last time they did something like this, I think Hitler was still in power. So that's a little bit of perspective there for you. That shit doesn't happen in Steelers land, dude. So it's a big time deal.
It was 1941, and the co-owner fired himself. That's when it was. That's what it was. No, there's been no coaching change like that in Steelers history.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, committed committed occupational suicide there.
Yeah, I mean, just a few weeks left in this game. Let's move on to our week 12. Holy shit, week 12. So fast. Let's go run our preview. So Thursday, our Thursday Turkey Bowl game, let's call it. The Green Bay Packers face the Detroit Lions. I want you guys to give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Vince McMahon, if you're not feeling the game or you think it's a good one to watch. So, Green Bay Packers, Detroit Lions. What do you guys think of that game? Yeah? Thumbs up, thumbs up.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that one.
They're all divisional games on Thanksgiving. That's what I'm thankful for.
It's always, so that's great. Washington Commanders versus the Dallas Cowboys.
We'll see how well the Commanders play. If they can play,
I'm gonna go Vince with this, because the Dallas Cowboys should win that. So I'm not expecting anything from Niners Seahawks. Ooh,
there we go.
This is actually a much closer game than it could be, and more people realize. If people looking at
because it's in Seattle. Yes,
it's a very close game than people realize.
It shifts up that division a little bit too.
Yeah, if you see the records, that's a big game. That's probably the biggest, maybe second biggest game of the weekend.
Dolphins versus Jets. I'm going thumbs up because I think this is an opportunity for the Dolphins to put up some fucking points against this team.
I think that's the show.
Thanks, Buffalo.
Yeah. I think it's an opportunity the Jets show something with the new quarterback.
Saints Falcons. I'm going with I don't care. Falcons. Yeah. Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Bengals. I'm going with that one. Burrow's out, so this is going to be interesting.
I mean, it's going to be with 17-15 game or some shit like that.
Jamar
45-0, baby.
Jamar Chase managers.
TJ Watt's going to eat. There'll be room for leftovers on Sunday.
Zaddy tuning in. Aaron with a sad face said Burrow. Sorry about it. That's his quarterback in the league, and now he's got. Yeah, so maybe you can get Aiden O'Connell.
Hey.
Jags versus Texans. Ooh, I'm going.
Good game.
Good game.
It's gonna be a great game.
Bucks versus the Colts. Nah. New England Patriots versus the Giants.
No thanks. Why are we even playing this game?
Panthers Titans. I'm gonna pass on that too. No way.
Nah.
Look at that record. 1-9.
That's atrocious.
That sucks, man. From Cam Newton years to just be this terrible.
Bryce Young could have been a decent quarterback. We don't know though.
Yeah. Ugh.
Next set of games. Los Angeles Rams versus the Cardinals. Ugh. Cleveland Browns versus the Broncos. I'm going with that one.
Be really good.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good.
Chiefs Raiders. Divisional. So I'm just gonna give it a. Buffalo Bills versus the Eagles. Yes. Maybe this is when Josh Allen finally turns it around. I see that becoming a very close game. Ravens Chargers.
I'll be there.
Oh, you're gonna be there? Nice.
I'll be there.
It's gonna be a decent game. No Mark Andrews.
Give it a thumbs up. Chicago Bears versus the Vikings.
This is what I'm talking about. This is my rant from last week. Why didn't this get flexed? What are we doing? Yeah, you got Buffalo and Philly right there.
Yeah, really, dude.
I would rather watch Cleveland and Denver, dude.
Yes.
Denver's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, that's going to be an ugly game. Broncos are going to do their best AFC North impression in that game.
All right.
Have you guys seen the meme with the Broncos? You know the horse meme? I think it's from
Family Guy?
John Elway?
Oh, that's great, dude.
Which one? The Family Guy is like where he's checking the injured horse?
Yeah.
And then he shoots the guy in the leg. He's like, can you raise? The horse starts riding the guy. Oh, man.
On the horse for like the 1 in 5. And then when he grabs the gun, it changes their schedule to 5 and 5.
Yeah, and he shoots the guy in the leg and hops on the back of the guy. Says, "Can you race today? Can you race?" I was definitely shared in the Discord. So,
I can't believe the
You're
Chargers
watching,
are in
join our
last place
Discord.
of the AFC West. That's crazy.
The Chargers
Wide open.
the Chargers have a really good team.
They do.
That's crazy.
Staff.
They have a great team.
That's so insane to me,
It's
dude.
Staley. He need to lose him. Yeah. We're getting about almost to time to wrap up the show, but before we go, let's go ahead and run our quick hitters.
Woo!
We have no picks today. Francis was pretty busy, so you guys are just gonna have to make an educated guess on who you're betting for. But quick hitters, Naro, run down our scores from last week.
What's up, guys? Scores from last week. They were high. It was a high scoring week last week.
Not bad.
Out of our parlay games did not go through. Like 3 of our parlay games didn't go through. But the lowest scores were myself and Zach at 9, Hopper with 10, and Francis coming out with a solo win. Congratulations for your first solo dub on quick hitters.
Gotta make up for those missed days, but what about today?
I guess we're on the season now.
Yeah.
He's still in last though.
All right. Well, there it is. What's the total so far for the season? You have that on you?
The total for the season, I do have it on me. The total for the season puts Proper and myself are tied at 5, Zach on 3, and Francis has now moved into 2.
Ooh. Wild card, baby. Week 12 schedule. Let's go ahead and run our quick hitters. This one's fun. Naro, when you're ready, I'll run them down.
Go ahead, run it.
All right.
Zigzag, baby.
We got the Packers, Lions for Thanksgiving divisional game. Going with the Lions on this one.
Lions.
Yeah, I am too.
All 3
Packers have a
Lions.
chance, though, I won't lie.
Now we got the Commanders, Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Give me the boys. I feel so gross saying that.
Yeah, dude, I was about to say
Give you the boys? Come on, dude. Pause.
Oh, man. What
I don't even care about the pause.
Jeez.
There goes Cave Sports, canceled.
Yeah, that's it. So this is our last show.
This is our last show.
It was fun.
Because
Naro
Naro
wants the boys.
wants the boys. We got the Niners heading to Seattle against the Seahawks. This is close. Niners.
It's tough, but I'm going with the Niners on this one, too.
Yeah. We got Dolphins facing off with the Jets. Dolphins.
Let's go Dolphins.
Saints, Falcons. Saints.
You won the first one, dude.
Saints.
Ritter's back, or Desmond Ritter's back. I'm going with the Falcons. That's probably a great pick, but
Steelers, Bengals. I got the Steelers taking that one.
definitely got the Steelers on this one. Let's go, new play caller.
I'll
stop.
Give me the Bengals.
Stop
I
it.
knew it.
Yeah, give me the Bengals.
All right. Jags, Texans.
Jags.
Texans.
Ooh. I just need Dameon Pierce to have a good game.
He beats you. Yes,
Bucks versus the Colts. I got the Bucks on that one.
I got
Colts.
I do have the Colts on that one.
All right. Patriots versus the Giants.
Patriots.
Let's go, Tommy DeVito.
Panthers, Titans.
Titans.
You picked the Pats again, dude.
Yeah, but then it's like I could also pick the Giants. That's a lose-lose. Either way, they're going to tie, so it doesn't matter.
We'll go with Titans. Love it. All right, the Titans. What's that? Did he freeze out?
Oh, no. Did he freeze? We got to get his pick later. Rams, Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals.
All right. I'm going with the Rams. You're going with the Cardinals?
Yeah, I'm going with the Cardinals.
No, I'm going Rams, dude.
Oh, he's back.
Browns, Broncos.
That's rad, Broncos.
Kansas City Chiefs versus the Las Vegas Raiders. It just sounds weird. Las Vegas Raiders.
No, it really does. I just
give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs winning that, but Las Vegas Raiders doesn't. Oakland Raiders sounded cool.
It sounds really good. I just feel like it's natural. Even the LA Raiders.
Yeah.
I'm with the Chiefs.
Bills versus the Eagles. Close for me. At home, I'm going to go Eagles.
I'm going with Eagles, too.
I am going with the best team in football, the Philadelphia Eagles.
You're fucking us up now on this pick.
We lost to the Jets, bro.
They did. Baltimore versus the Chargers.
I can only control what I can control, right? And what I can control is my pick, and I'm picking the best team in football, Philadelphia Eagles. Last week, I picked the best team in football, Kansas City Chiefs. This week, I'm picking the best team in football, who just beat last week's best team in football. Give me the Eagles.
I got Baltimore in this one.
Yeah, Ravens.
What you got, Proper?
Ravens. And our Monday night game that should have been flexed to the Bills Eagles. Vikings gonna win that one though. That pastor not gonna have a good game.
Yeah,
give me the Vikings.
He almost had a comeback last week too.
Yeah, he almost did. He played pretty well. But he's showing that the Vikings is working for him. So I see him having a very good bounce back game against the Bears. So Vikings should be winning that one very convincingly.
The Bears.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
All right.
Well, that's pretty much it for today. You guys want to touch on anything before we sign off?
Not the boys.
All right. Well,
yeah.
Thank you.
Go Steelers.
There you go. Let's go Broncos. And you already know who Zach's riding with. The Niners or the Giants. Let's call it the Giants, huh?
Chargers. Pick one, Zach.
Hey, I can only control what I can control, and right now
you can control who you pick. What do you mean?
That is true.
I made my picks.
All right, guys. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you guys for tuning in to continue the discussion. Visit K4V3.com/5P0RT5. That's Cage Sports. Join our Discord and connect with the sports crew. On your way out, visit our sponsor, SafeLightCandle.com, for all your lighting needs, all at affordable prices. Visit them now so you can stay lit for the Lolo. I am your host, Proper. I am joined by Legit Naro and Feel the Burn, and Francis, who isn't here, but I'm sure he's there in spirit, right? We'll catch you guys next week. Oh, okay, there goes the impressions.
I don't love it.
Week.
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
Happy. So now we got.